Hi, this is the Voice Explainer. Today I'll be explaining the movie named The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The movie begins with the five friends heading out to attend a concert. Erin is the main character and she is traveling with her group. As they drive through Texas, a strange girl suddenly appears in the middle of the road. Concert, they stop the van and ask if she is okay, but she doesn't respond and just keeps walking. Erin gets out to help her, but the girl is quickly says he is a bad guy. The group thinks she might be traumatized and offers her a ride. As they pass the slaughterhouse, the girl becomes more agitated and warns them, "You are going the wrong way." She suddenly pulls out a gun and, in a horrifying moment, shoots herself in the head inside the van. Shocked and terrified, the group rushes out the van, unsure of what to do with the body. After some discussion, they decided to find the police. They spot a gas station and go there for help. The woman running in contacts the police and tells them to meet an officer at an old mill nearby. Reluctantly, they head to the mill, but it is completely abandoned. While waiting, they see a small boy who tells them the officer is actually at his house. Erin and one friend go to find the house based on the direction the boy gave. At the house, they meet an old man who says it's not the officer's place, but offer to contact him. However, he insists only Erin can come inside. Erin's friend waits outside while she talks to the old man, who calls the police. The officer says he will be there in 13 minutes. As Erin prepares to leave, an old man asks for her help with something and she agrees. Time passes and her friend, growing worried, goes inside to look for her, but he is ambushed by a man with a hammer, Leatherface. The killer strikes him and drags him into the hidden room. Erin returns outside unaware of what just happened and realizes her friend has disappeared. The boy goes back to the mill and the girl Erin also goes there. When Erin enters, she sees that her friend is still missing and gets worried. They start searching for him but can't find him. Instead, they discover some family photos in a car, including one of the hitchhiker girl. Still unable to find their friends, Erin and her other friends go to old man's house. Erin distracts the old man by talking to him, while her friend sneaks inside to look for the missing boy. Inside, she finds a room where human skin is hanging. Suddenly, she sees a box. Erin also arrives after hearing a noise. The old man sees them and becomes angry when he notices Erin's friend. He shouts, "Come on boy, bring it." The Leatherface shows holding a chainsaw. The two try to run. Erin manages to escape, but Leatherface cuts off her friend's foot. He takes him to the basement, hangs him on a meat hook, pours salt on her wound, and wraps his foot in paper. Leatherface had already removed the screen from the Erin's missing friend's face and was making a mask from it. He even takes off his own mask, revealing his horrifying real face. Meanwhile, Erin gets into the car at a mill but tries to start it, but it doesn't work. A police officer arrives and Erin feels relieved at first, but the officer finds drugs in their car and becomes aggressive. He forces all three friends out of the car and makes them lie on the ground. Then he takes Morgan, Erin's friend, into his car and tells him to pretend to shoot himself like the girl who died earlier. He hands Morgan a gun and forces him to put it in his mouth. Morgan finally points the gun at the officer and tries to shoot him, but the gun is empty. The police officer takes Morgan and the car keys and leaves. He brings Morgan to the Leatherface's house. Erin tries to start the car again. It starts, but the tires fall off while she drives. Leatherface arrives with a chainsaw. Scared, Erin and other friends runs out the car. Leatherface chases her and eventually kills her with the chainsaw. Erin sees everything happening in front of her. He notices that Leatherface is wearing the face of her missing friend as a mask. Shocked and scared, she quickly escapes from the vehicle, but Leatherface chases her. While running, Erin finds a camper van with a woman and her daughter inside. She tells them about Leatherface. The young woman says the Leatherface is actually a good person who just has a skin disease that makes his face look scary. She gives Erin a cup of tea and says they don't have a phone. Erin sees their family photos and starts feeling uneasy, wondering where she was ended up. Then a phone rings and Erin notices the woman talking on it while holding a baby in her lap. Erin tries to leave but suddenly faints because they put something in her tea. It turns out two men are helping Leatherface. They had tricked the girl who killed herself earlier, killed her family and kept her baby. That girl escaped once but later took her own life. When Erin wakes up, she is still in the house and surrounded by the strange family. It's revealed that they are Leatherface's relative. His mother explains that Leatherface has a skin disease and people used to make fun of him. Because of this, they lived in isolation and hated outsiders. Leatherface ties Irene up in the basement, which is filled with horrifying things. There, she finds her friend still alive, hanging on a hook. She tries to help him but can't get him down. He begs her to end his pain. Irene is heartbroken, but she puts him out of his misery with a knife. She then finds Morgan in a bathtub, badly hurt with a hole in his back, showing he had also been hooked. Irene helps him out. A young boy they had seen earlier shows up. He is not dangerous and wants to help them. Irene and Morgan try to escape, but Leatherface sees them and follows with his chainsaw. As they run, Leatherface grabs Irene's foot, but the boy helps her free, and she manages to escape too. Morgan and Irene reach an old cabin, but Leatherface is still chasing them. Irene hides Morgan and they hides herself too. Leatherface arrives and starts looking for them. Rat comes near Irene's hiding spot and makes noise, but she stays quiet. Eventually, Leatherface leaves and Irene thinks they are safe, but suddenly Leatherface grabs her from the behind and tries to attack her with the chainsaw. Morgan shows up just in time to save her. Leatherface catches Morgan again and hangs him up. Irene runs away in fear. Leatherface chases her and they reach a fence. Irene manages to climb over, but Leatherface's foot gets stuck. His chainsaw accidentally cuts his own leg. Irene runs to the road and tries to stop a car, but the driver ignores her. She keeps running and reaches a slaughterhouse. She hides in a large piece of meat, but Leatherface cuts through it with his chainsaw. Then Irene hides in a cabinet and grabs a cleaver. When Leatherface finds her, she attacks him and cuts off his hand. He falls to the ground badly hurt. Irene runs outside and stops truck on the road. The driver lets her in, but he starts heading towards the gas station. Irene warns him he is going the wrong way, but he doesn't listen. Just like what happened to the girl in the beginning of the movie, Irene is about to taken back to danger, but she fights back. When they reach the gas station, Irene gets out of the truck. She sees a baby girl inside the building. While the others are distracted, Irene sneaks in and takes the baby. The woman notices the baby is missing, but it's too late. Irene has escaped with her. When the trucker checks his truck, Irene isn't there. She is hiding in a car. She suddenly drives the car into him, killing him. Instead of driving away, she backs up and runs over him again to make sure he is dead. Irene escapes with the baby girl. Just then, Leatherface shows up and tries to attack with his chainsaw. But Irene gets away. Leatherface watches angrily and she drives off. In the end, Irene saves the baby and escapes safely. The movie ends here. Thank you for watching.